Here we go. Make sure we get the recordings for playbacks for everyone. And I'm going to also make sure I can read your questions this morning. How is everyone? If you're jumping on here, go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments below. Tell everybody who you are, your business. If you want, go ahead and put your Facebook business page down below so everybody has that opportunity to jump on there and like your page and share it with others. And of course, it gives us a chance to all know who's here in both Inspired Nation and the Inspired Ignite experience. So go ahead and do that and tell me good morning. I want to see everybody's happy comments this morning as we are all getting ready. And let's see, Inspired Nation. I have to turn it on over here so I can actually see y'all's questions while I am going. That way I can answer any of them. So good morning, Ms. Diane. Good to have you on here this morning. So we're going to jump right into today's topic. If you have been following, this is just a continuation in the series of unlocking the power of referral marketing. And the last couple of, we've been doing this now for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks. And so some of you, if you've missed some of them, you want to go back and look down in Facebook videos, and they're all there. You can go back and watch them on replay. We just ask that you go back and hit #replay so we know which ones that you're seeing, and you can ask questions because they'll pop up in my notices that you have a question, so I can go back, and myself or one of the Inspire Strategist team members can go back and address those. Watch out, even some of our other members may already know those answers too, and so they're going to want to jump in and answer those. So you can go back, and they're just the live Facebook, so you can go back and watch those. But we've been covering different elements of referral marketing, things that I believe are important when it comes to really building a business marketing plan that's an alternative to traditional sales. And for many of you, this is an answer because you hate, if you're like me, you hate cold calling, you hate having to get out there and generate leads, and maybe your budget is an issue when it comes to, good morning, Rosita, maybe your budget is an issue when it comes to actually exploring other traditional advertising venues and opportunities. So referral marketing, for me, one of the things I love about it is there is an investment. Sometimes there is a monetary investment, but usually that monetary investment is so small when compared to other things that you would possibly put your money when it comes to growing your business. But the investment's more in your time. So if we're talking about your time, and for me, that's one of your most valuable assets that you have in your business, is the time that you have to put working on it and working in it. And so if you're investing your time, then we have to create something that you can go back and see that return on investment. And with referral marketing, that's one of the things that I think a lot of people miss. They think word of mouth marketing is just happen chance, or it's just something that just organically grows. And I'm not going to say that it hasn't or that it can't, but there is strategy that can be applied to a referral marketing plan. And, I had an opportunity to sit across the desk the other day from a client, and she goes, I just think very linear. And I was like, well, believe it or not, referral marketing, it is A plus B equals C. You have to put things in place. And, we've talked about word choice on here. We've talked about understanding the 5 levels of referrals. But one of the things that we're going to talk about today is understanding where our mindset needs to be and the difference between sales mode and referral marketing, and how important it is to understand the difference. So let me get my chair out of the way so that I'm not tripping over that while I'm training this morning. There we go. All right, so All right, I see Diane, you're in here about posting on here for the business, but yes, you can put your tag to your business Facebook page in here. The only reason why we don't allow you're in the Inspired Nation, and the reason why that we don't do that is that we don't want people joining as their business profile, because we want to get to know the individual inside of the groups. And so you're more than welcome to tag and let everybody know what the tag is to your business pages. But what we're really trying to do is make sure that everybody joins as the individual, because ultimately who we're referring is you. And over the many years that I've been training referral marketing, I have had quite a few people that have been part of my network, but they've changed careers or changed jobs or changed companies, and yet their referability stayed quite high because as an individual, they had built credibility within their referral marketing. And it's the same thing with me. I've had the opportunity, to keep moving within my career. And, so I'm not having to go out there and reestablish myself over and over and over again. Instead, I just have to re-educate or retrain my referral generators what my new ask is. And so that's one of the purposes of the reason why I have that option blocked inside the groups, is because I know for many people, if I allowed you to join, if I allow you to join as a business, then we wouldn't see your individual profiles in here, and we need to know who you are. So yes, and it could just be like you said, Diane, because I was sitting there thinking, I think you can tag the Facebook group page. You can tag it, you just can't join as it. But if it's on your phone, so we'll have that opportunity. But you can still find Diane at In Focus Brand Photography. And a shout out to Diane. Diane's done a lot of our personal branding here with Inspired. Just traveled with us up to the Clarity Retreat. And so if you're looking for an incredible brand photographer for your business, and I highly recommend connecting to Diane. Well, let's go ahead and get started here this morning. So one of the things that I wanted to teach and we actually focus on this. Oh, I'm going in and out of focus. There we go. In our book. So a couple of years ago, I had the privilege of co-writing with my co-founder, David Crumpile, and one of our colleagues, Sarah Westcott. We wrote the book, the E&E, or Tips to Becoming the E&E Networker. And this is actually in chapter 7. We actually put that in there because of how important I feel that people need to understand that this paradigm shift of the way that you have to think and approach when you're developing your referral marketing. And for me, the best way to do this is actually to compare it to what most people are familiar with, which is sales, the sales techniques. I'm going to try to make sure, if you're watching this on this, that we've got all of this. We've got 2 cameras going, and so we want to make sure everybody can see everything that we have here. So the first thing you want to think about is, we're going to talk about, and we put it in Inspired terminology here, as everyone's goal, whether you're in sales mode or referral mode, is to be noticed or seen, okay? To be noticed or seen. And if you're joining us for this series every single day, and I'll be doing this through October, you want to make sure and start yourself a notepad where you're keeping these notes, because a lot of this stuff you'll reference back and forth. And so you want to make sure, or if you're sitting on here going, Amy, did I miss one of these? Just let me know. We can tell you which video it was that you want to go back and look at that information. But think about it in sales mode. There are things that we do to let people know that fall into our sales, or what I call our advertising, our traditional advertising expenses. So in sales mode, we spend a lot of time becoming noticed and seen, and we do this a lot of times with spending money on advertising. Okay, it could be things, simple things like business cards. It could be promotional items. You have all different kinds of things, but what you're basically doing is making people aware of who you are. This is what I say, the stuff that you're doing to spend, you know, here I am, this is what I'm doing, this is how you can find me. So this could be your website expenses, it could be Facebook ads, could be your email. Maybe you have an email campaign or a drip campaign. All of this is the stuff that you're doing to let people know that you're in business. This is what you do, how they can find you. And of course, advertising can be all mediums. It could be, you know, print, radio, you know, it could be large outdoor advertising. It could be mail campaigns. You know, so this is what I always tell people. A lot of times this comes with a price tag. And depending on your budget, this price tag can vary. I tell people, you know, every company spends money to make people aware of who they are. So it could be a landing page. It could be, you know, as simple as a business card and a magnet on your car. But I would hope that everybody understands there's a big difference in people's budgets right here, right? Think of the big companies that they're able to pay for, you know, print materials and commercials and logos. I can assure you that the noticed and seen in sales mode for, say, a company like Coca-Cola or Pepsi is a lot larger than most of the clients I get to work with. But the same stuff is still needed, but it's whether or not what you can afford. And that's where a lot of the hurt comes in when it comes to small business owners. And so what I always tell everybody is to take an inventory of what you actually have. Make a list of the things that you do. It could even be organizations that you join in order to be noticed and seen. You know, where are you spending your money to let people know who you are, what you do, and how to find you. So take an inventory of that, okay? The next thing we're going to talk about is the reason why, what you have to think about in sales mode. So the next one is perception and image, okay? Perception and image. Now in sales mode, what you're really trying to achieve here is you're letting people know, here I am, this is how you can find me. And we spend our time here talking about our products, okay? We want to make sure that our products, what we're saying that we do, actually works, so that your product or the services you provide actually do what you say they're going to do, right? Because this is your credibility because this is in sales mode. This is what I have to offer. What I have to offer actually works, okay? And I'm not saying it has to work 100% every single time, but again, it will affect the perception and image of our company, of our product, how fast you make things good when something goes wrong also. So, you know, keep that in mind when it comes to the perception and image that you're trying to create. So the thing is that you're trying to increase, when you're doing your sales mode, you're trying to increase the awareness that people have that you exist, and you want to increase that your product or service actually can deliver the solution to the challenges that people have out there. So the whole deal is that while you're trying to, and as you'll notice, this is kind of the sales funnel here of trying to attract people. This could be lead generation, this could be cold calling, okay? So there's all different kind of things that we'll go ahead and address those, since we talked about those last night in our thing. So lead generations, cold calling, all of this stuff, and we're trying to attract people into our sales mode. But in that process, we have to switch from, you know, once we've got them in, to actually telling them and showing them that our product and service works. And that whole thing is part of the sales product. And then, of course, we come down to the whole reason why we're doing this is results everyone desires. So when we are working through this through sales mode, it's here I am, this is what I do. Let me show you how my product or service works. And ultimately, the results everyone desires is to go to close business and someone buys your product, right? I mean, if you think about it, that's really what we're out there doing. Now, this is I mean, every business has got to go through this funnel of letting people know who you are, what you're doing, my product or service works, and I hope that you buy them. Okay, we get that. And the problem is, though, is that people stay in that mode when they go to networking events, because this is what we've kind of been conditioned to do. And because this is what we have to do when we're in front of a prospect. This is what we have to do to pay our bills. This is the thing that actually puts the money in the checking account. And so I can understand it. Look, I've been there. There are times where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm in sales mode. I'm in sales mode. But to be able to turn around and recognize that you want to be able to switch it off from here in the appropriate time. So one of the things that I have people all the time, and they'll come up to me and go, I've got my elevator speech and I'm all ready, Amy. And I'm like, okay, but an elevator speech for my trainings has been where you are in front of someone who you're opening up this opportunity for them. You're in that moment where you're in front of your prospect. So I don't think having your elevator speech, the only thing you should have is your elevator speech, because you could be using it at the wrong opportunity. You could be standing in front of a potential referral generator rather than a prospect. And if all you're equipped with is an elevator speech, you actually could lose a huge opportunity to grow your business. And so I understand it's hard to switch from transactional mode, where we need, especially if you're starting a brand new business and you're coming from a place of, it's not that I would like to have a new client, is that I have to have a new client. I get that, right? Like, I get the fact that it's like I need to go into picking up a client. If you will just take a deep breath and listen to watching how this is compared, and understand that if you quit chasing the transaction and actually stop and build a referral marketing plan, your days of chasing transactions will become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I promise. I always tell everybody, when it comes to referral marketing, it is like going up a mountain. And there are times you're going to feel like you're all by yourself. There's going to be times you just want to stop. There are going to be times where you're going to have team members that are helping you up that mountain. And the whole time, and it's like quicksand sometimes, but when you reach the top and you begin to develop those referrals and they start coming to your business, it's like the snowball effect on the other side of it. Because all of a sudden you're going to be working in your business, and referrals are going to be coming to you because you have taken the time, you've gone up that mountain, you've taken the time to actually develop a referral marketing strategy that is going to help you build a sustainable business plan, okay? Not have to start over at the beginning of every single month and go get brand new transactions, right? One of the things I love about referral marketing is that right now, while I am on here with you guys, someone in my team, in my referral partnership, is recommending me or introducing me right now. And that is a powerful thought, that I get to actually work in my business right here, help you guys grow yours, and someone is out there that's in my network who's helping me grow my business. They're a part of my success story. So that's the power. You ever felt like a solopreneur where you're like, I can't do everything all at one time? Well, you're right. You can't. So the cool thing about it is leverage that. And I always say, duplicate yourself, or what I like to think, I get to, what would be the word for, multiple referral partners. I am that times myself. And so that's the power of being able to switch. So if you want that, we got to get you to switch over here to referral marketing mode. And let's see if I can change this over a little bit. Working in a very limited space here in my office, but we're going to try to make sure everybody can see this. So in referral marketing, the difference here, let's see, we're going to switch up markers. So to be noticed and seen in referral marketing, it's a little bit different because in the first one, it really is all about, where you're spending. It comes with a price tag here. And to be noticed and seen in referral marketing it's really about how you're showing up. Okay, how you're showing up, and what I say all the time, how you're showing up as your best self forward. Okay, your best self forward. And so things you want to think about here when you're being noticed and seen in referral marketing that will either make a plus or a minus. Okay, because you can have positive awareness, or you can obviously create a negative impact. And these are the things that I really love to train on, because sometimes we're doing these things without people even realizing it. And then you wonder why you're not generating the opportunities for your business that you could have. So first thing you want to think about is you need to show up as referral marketing as we want to have a positive attitude. Okay, positive attitude. Your appearance. Okay, appearance. First of all, positive attitude. No one at the point where they can recommend you or introduce you is going to do so if the first thing, the first thing they think about with you is that you're a negative person, like that you have a bad attitude, that you're a naysayer, you're someone who's always looking at the glass half empty rather than half full. You're the problem with that, and I'm gonna tell you, you know who they are, is these are the ones that when they walk in the room, David and I say when they walk in the room, they just suck the fun right out of it. And no one wants to sit with them. Everyone dreads that they come to the meeting. They criticize, right? Am I hitting on some things here? If you can picture, no calling out any names here on Facebook, but can you picture in your mind someone that comes to your meetings and the meeting wasn't made better? Okay, and I never want that to be me. So I want to always be an asset to my network, and that means I need to show up with a positive forward attitude. I'm coming in there with the attitude of win-win. What can I do to make this experience in this moment better? Whether or not it's a one-to-one type conversation, whether or not you just have the ability to talk to someone to your left or your right at a lunch and learn, whether or not I get to be someone to walk up to someone who looks a little intimidated by an event. And there's just ways that you can show up. Your body language, your smile, your handshake, all of these are so important to create the impression that you want to have as a professional, right? As a professional. Appearance. I think I'm still amazed. It's funny how over the years I've gone through what people consider career professional wardrobes. Many of you know that my past life, I was an accountant, and the time that I was coming through as an accountant, the wardrobe was quite confining, I guess you could say. We were limited to our options. There we go. We were limited to our options of what we were allowed to do. But I think it was so ingrained into me that that's the way that you show up when you're ready to do business. That yes, over the years, I'm just like all of y'all, I've relaxed a little bit in my wardrobe, but I truly feel that there's some that have gone completely to the other side. And it always amazes me how people will show up to a business meeting where you are asking people to put you in front of their best clients, their friends, their families, your golden goose opportunity. And in the midst of asking people for that, you are not dressed in a reflection to your profession. And the reason why I say in your profession is that I believe people can be absolutely professional if their professional wardrobe is jeans, a golf shirt, a t-shirt, but it needs to be clean, pressed, tucked in. Ladies, I think we have to be careful with our blouses and things, because sometimes casual wear looks casual. And if you're on fire for your business, coming with an appearance that appears casual may not be putting you where you need to be. Now, everyone needs to, obviously, you need to know your business and what is the right thing for you. Do I have a problem with someone who wears scrubs in their profession showing up to some networking meetings in their scrubs? No. But are you putting your laborer hat on? Or are you putting the business owner hat on? And I think that's a question that you really have to think about. Am I really showing up where I look as if I want to grow my business, or am I looking as if I just want to grow a transaction here and there? It's hard. Look, the last thing I want to do sometimes when I go to my network of people that I've known for years, I see them every week, they know me, I want to be able to dress down today. And I just feel that you need to always put that next thing forward. Ladies, get up, fix your hair, put your makeup on if you wear makeup, wear your clothes that are going to put you out there as a profession. Same thing for guys. If you're out there and you're someone who crawls in attics and under houses and things like that, have a change of shirts, okay? Make sure that that you have that. Years ago, I used to have a painter that would come to a meeting, and I understood that he was like, I'm just going to leave here and go to work. And the problem is, he would wear his painter's white, suit, and it had paint all over it. And yeah, I wanted to go, you're not, no one saw him as the business owner. And so when he was really trying to strategize, really all people were thinking was just he needs to leave to go to the job to go paint. And so he looked like the laborer rather than the business owner. And so these are just some things to think about. Obviously, you're in charge of your own wardrobe and how you show up, but appearance does make an impression. And at the moment of referability, which is that moment where your referral generator hears your trigger word and has the opportunity to bring you up, are you at a positive with them? One of the things that I train on is positive or negative credibility with, I call it the credibility bank. That at the moment you begin building a referral generator relationship, you're either making positive deposits or negative deposits. So you're either making positive deposits into your network or negative deposits. Things like showing up on time. Okay, showing up on time with a positive attitude, dressed for success, right? All of these things should be making positive deposits into their credibility bank. And at the moment that referral opportunity takes place, if you are at 0 or negative, they're going to keep their mouth shut. They're not going to open up that mouth. And who knows, they could literally be sitting there hearing your ideal client base that could make a huge difference for your business. And yet they're not confident enough to bring you up because you haven't made enough deposits into that credibility bank. So you want to think about that. So there's different things that you want to do. It's how you are being seen and noticed within your network. The next is perception and image. So under sales mode, it's all about proving that your product or service works. Under referral marketing mode, it's all about you. You have the perception and image that someone has about you as a person, as a professional. This is going to drive, just like I said, all of the awareness tools that are up here in our referral marketing. All of this right here is going to drive whether or not you as a professional, you work when it comes to in this network. And I don't mean, are you showing up on time, putting in 40 hours a week? What I mean is, what are you doing to make sure the perception and the image that people have of you? Because as I said earlier, your product and service may change. The company you work for may change. You may have to rechange your branding. Whatever thing you're doing over here could change. But if you've taken the time to increase positive awareness for yourself and people feel confident in who you are as a professional, that regardless of what product or service you have, you're going to deliver it. You are going to take care of that referral. Okay, they're never going to have to apologize to the referral that you didn't call them, or that you were rude, or that you didn't know what you were talking about. So these are the things that you want to think about. The perception or image is based on you. And when you're building a referral marketing mode, you're dumping yourself, who you are, into that other person that you're developing a referral generation, relationship with. Okay. And then the third, the results everyone desires when they're under referral marketing mode. Well, we are looking to develop referral generators. Or if you want to think about it, these are our golden goose relationships. These are people that are network. We're looking to develop a network. It could be a power team, strategic alliances, industry collaborations, power partners. Okay, so there's all different kind of things right here that you're ultimately trying to develop. So no one's going to want to be in your network if you're a negative person. And through the process, now this is a process that we call wanting, willing, and able. This is the process where you are converting people who know you, who are going to go through the process of learning what a great referral for you are, and all of the things. Well, no one's going to want to sit down with you and learn that if you're negative and all of this. But if you can get them through these phases and increase that perception and image that you are worthy of a referral, then ultimately you're going to be able to generate referral generators for your business. Now, I told you guys last night in last night's training, I would show you the difference of where this hits in the funnel, the sales funnel. Most people in a sales funnel, you're doing all kind of things to capture. And I always tell people this is more like a tornado. So excuse me, I know this will drive some of you crazy that I'm going to write over my words, but it's okay. We're all going to survive this a little bit. I want you to think of this more as what I call more like a tornado, okay? And so there's things that we're going to capture up here in the sales funnel. And some of them aren't necessarily going to be our ideal clients. Some of them aren't even going to be ideal leads. Some of them aren't even going to be ideal cold calls. And I'm sure many of you have experienced negative cold calls, negative lead generations, even some negative prospecting where you thought you were sitting in front of an ideal client and they failed to be so. So we know we can capture all kind of things up here at this point. Obviously, as we are moving them through and we are cycling some out, hopefully we're getting closer and closer to the prospect, the people that are, at least I would like to think everyone that comes through that eventually becomes your ideal client, but we all know that's not the case when you're just capturing the shotgun approach where everybody's coming in and just dumping things from everywhere. But let's say as you're moving through the process, you actually get them to the point where you can tell them about your product and services, right? And then, of course, you hope they buy. Okay, this cycle here can be challenging. It can be long. And so you're not always guaranteed, obviously, to go to close business. And there's a whole lot of money that I say there's a whole lot of stuff coming in sometimes and a whole lot of money going out. So if we could start at a different level in this funnel, wouldn't you guys find that to be a valuable asset to your business? And that's exactly the way I want you to think about a referral marketing strategy, okay? It is an asset to your business that once you build this thing, it is yours, right? Like this is your network. If I could monetize my network and put it on a balance sheet, like it would be right there in the asset column. Like this is one of my most valuable assets to my business, and that is my referral marketing team. You notice I said they're not an expense. They're not my sales team. They're my referral generators. Okay, these are my referral generators. So the whole thing with a sales mode is to go this way. With a referral marketing mode, cool thing happens. Yes, you still have to go through the process, right? We still have to go find people at networking events that we would like to surround ourselves with. We must take them through the cycle of wanting, willing, and able to become credible as a professional with them. And then ultimately, as they become referral generators. So there is time, okay? Sometimes this is money. I'm not going to say time. You got lead generation, cold calling. There's time. There's all kind of things up here in this. There is time here. There could be some money based if you have to join a membership. But again, I kind of put that over here in this column. But you're going to put your time in. And where some of this time comes in for me is strategy sessions. And I'm going to cover a whole training on strategy sessions, okay? But this is, you're going to put in strategy sessions. You're going to put in networking meetings. This is everywhere what you're going to put your time in. The nice thing about it is once you create referral generators, they are going to bring you right here into the sales funnel at a different level. Because what they're doing is they are already creating your awareness for you. I'm going to keep switching this thing back and forth. You see, they know the person you want. They're having the conversation with them. They are standing, if you train them right, they're standing in front of your ideal client. So they have that opportunity of already being in front of that ideal client. And if you train them right, they've already identified that this person has the challenge that your product or service is the solution to. And this get better, right? Not only have they identified this person for you, they have used, this is why it's called word of mouth marketing, they have used their words. Remember these words last night that we talked about? To recommend your product or services. So you're not having to do that. They have identified your target market. They are making the recommendations. They are recommending you because you are at a high level of credibility with them, okay? They are recommending you, and depending on how strong their need is, how equipped your referral partners are at recommendations, you now have the opportunity to sit in front of them, and now you can do your elevator pitch, you can do your sales pitch. But what I find most of the time, I'm not even having to do a pitch at this moment. I'm actually just informing. I'm actually on the phone with that person and say, I understand that you have a need. I would love to talk to you about the solution. And if I am that, I'd love to move forward with you. But it's also an opportunity to figure out whether or not this is really a good client for me. But I will tell you that by cutting the cycle down, I'm able to get in front of my ideal client. So, this is someone who I'm going to put $2 signs. This is someone I enjoy the product or service I'm getting to work on. I am making money from this person. My closing ratio is much higher through referral marketing than through my sales funnel. I'm actually working with the client base I want to. And let me see, how much did this cost me to actually make this generate? Just the time it took, maybe a little bit into joining a group, but time I've invested into referral generators. And the cool thing about it? You don't have to start over with referral generators every single month. In fact, you just service this relationship. You dump into them the way they dump into you, and this will keep feeding your business on and on and on. So instead of chasing a single transaction, I say go out there and build your referral marketing plan. Surround yourself. You don't have to have 100 people in your referral marketing strategy. In fact, I would say that's actually, you wouldn't be able to go deep. You wouldn't be able to spend time actually taking them through this process to actually teach them what a great target market for you looks like. I'm looking at this board here. I know it's really messy, so I'll stand right here. Okay. So guys, I hope I've inspired you here today to think about referral marketing. If you're watching this, leave comments down below. I think I put it up at the top. Tell us how you're using referral marketing. Tell me if you're brand new to referral marketing. What it is that you're doing to increase your perception and the awareness for your business. But here's another challenge. If you know who you would like to develop as a referral generator for you, if there's an industry out there that you would love to start this process with, then take advantage of being right here in Inspired Nation, or if you're watching this in the Inspired Ignite experience, list out the industries that you would love to connect with. And if you're one of those industries, reach out back to them and say, let's get together over a strategy session. If you're local, get together in person. If not, use the technologies out there, Skype, Zoom, Facebook Messenger, whatever it is, and get in touch with each other and begin the process of wanting, willing, and able. I hope you guys have a fantastic Wednesday. I'm Amy D. Kilpatrick, and I hope I've inspired you today about referral marketing.